Okay, Awoken Stygian with 2 Wildwood Saps, 2 Ice Tornadoes, and a Pyagro. And we have Seraph that eat my spells. Merchant costs are reduced by some value less than 25%, or enemies get -1 attack. And with Thorns, if we go Thorns, which we go Thorns, sometimes Winged Indulgence is bad, and sometimes it's really bad. Hey Xander, it was great, man. That's okay, dude. Next time, right? Yeah, merchant costs are somewhat reduced by oddly strange amounts. And because you can't work them out or remember what they are, Panz, you won't be able to make value out of it, except having extra gold. It's still probably the pick. But one of the things, like knowing when to reroll or knowing if you need to, if you can take an okay-ish spell to add to your deck, you're looking at the 10 gold you're going to get, and knowing what you can do with that at a store, especially because there's a lot... I mean, it's still random, but there's a lot less options, so you're knowing what you're going into and where the price that range is. So unless you know the lower value as well, you can't plan with Guild Marker as well. Yeah, the Winged Indulgence 0 attack on the units that grant multi-strike, the units that grant haste. Although in that fight you're probably setting up top anyway. So, maybe not. I think it's still the pick though. It's a close call. What do we have? Not a really good rejuve deck. Need to get the cost of Ice Tornadoes down. Enemies into spikes. Oh, Gather Clergy. Fine. So this is a really good example of where Winged Indulgence sucks. Like straight up sucks. They've got spikes. Right, so if we set up top floor, they'll hit for 0. So they won't spike us, and then our Pyre will take 3 damage from each of them. So we have to set up here and take 2 damage from them on our Sentient, instead of on top taking 1 damage from Sentient. Also, that is good, especially if we get a holo. Extra Wildwood Saps, kind of alright. I think we're looking at doing more to a Wildwood Sap. We want to Kind of a weird place. If you get your restoration up really high, Wildwood Sap Resto Detonation doesn't do anything. Wildwood Sap kind of still does. And there's always stongs. Can we stong? Probably not. It just supports a hollow so well. Skip that. Oh, multi. Multi-rage. Let's go. Hi, welcome. Do we have Rage Fell? As long as it's not Rage Fell. Nice, Shield Fell. So we don't have to put health on you. Don't care. Do I care for the unit draft? That's the question. Because then I can just take an easy fight. Stifle conduits. Oh, they're all one-hitted? One. Huh. They're gonna hit for a lot. We can just set up top here. That's haste. Ugh. Ugh. You love Rage Fell? Yeah. How else can your 15 hit point backliner die? That's right. On that sweeper, when it hits... Yeah, dude, that's... Feels awkward. I'm not doing it. How you doing, MQZ? Finals? How much? Finals of what? What are we... What's... What sports ball are we playing? Oh, study finals? Wait, study finals? And not much, not hot much. That in the face, idiot. They delayed it because of Corona. That's fair. It's nice of them too. Care for any of these? I mean, zero cast spells are right. Rage spell, Rage Siren, I guess. I like a Helical Crystallis. The Mangasome was a lot of foreign students were leaving the country since classes were online. Oh, and then they've come back for exams. Yeah, that's rough. That's real scary. No burnout rector. Diet Daedalus and restart. Remnant needs a buff. Get out. Get out. Remnant needs a buff. Do we want 5 of anything? I could have made it quick. Probably just take 5 stings, right? 5 pyrgros. Yeah, Harvest Rector went from, you know, better than good enough to freaking amazing. It's always Wildwood Sap. It's not a... It hasn't been a... Like... I don't know if it always is, hey. I think if it's had any modification, even just a -1, then yes. Right? But 5 regular Wildwood Saps is a bit... I think it's good enough because of Nameless Silent with multi. But it's not a, you know... It's one of the reasons why I like putting a -1 on a Wildwood Sap. Apart from the fact that it's good to play it on 3 energy and be able to play other stuff, you can just dump it out. And the -1, you know, 25 gold, who cares? You know, sure, you're putting it on a consume card. Who cares? It's an important card to play. Am I happier playing 3 Wildwoods or 3 Stings on turn 2? Yeah, I mean, there is that. Freaking Winged Indulgence, Awoken main. I don't think you take it. Like, look at this. I want to set up top, and I can't, because otherwise we don't kill them. So I'm going to set up mid, and there's a freaking bomb. I mean, we can deal with the bomb, I guess. But you know what I mean, like... You still skip burnout unless there's some way to increase burnout in the +3 relic? Yeah, man. Like, I've skipped burnout for so long, because... I just want to get to a more consistent... I muck around too much. Like, I take meme runs, which I think is okay, but I don't know when I need to differentiate. Am I trying to be serious, or am I having just a fun run? And I don't want to take a run where I was being serious and then all of a sudden go fun, because then, like, I want to try and keep some form of accurate statistics. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Not that I'm keeping the track of the stats, but I just want to sort of have a rough idea of how I win-lose based on trying to win-lose, not muck around win-lose. You've seen Burnout Rector as a target to reform more than a unit you have to try and keep alive. Yeah. And that's good, because then he comes back really strong, right? But I guess the issue for that can be is the early circles. And I don't like this strategy, but it's definitely viable when the view is... If we fail to keep him alive in the early game, and this happens in many dungeon crawlers, where it doesn't matter if I take a high win, high lose strategy and lose in the first 10 minutes. All it cost me was 10 minutes and we can go again. And if that's the play style you want to play, then cool, you know, you do you, have fun type of situation, right, for people. I don't like that strategy. I want to take the more consistent road, even if that means missing out on a good percentage high win versus high loss strategy. Because I think that the more consistent one can bring more wins. And I just don't want to have to rely on getting Dead Branch and Corruption every time just to win with Ironclad type of situations. Do we take the X cost here because we have Thing? I think we do. Oh, definitely. There's a difference between playing to not dying and trying to maximize win run. Burnout Rector hits a weird spot in both of those. I'm actually taking Awoken Railspike, where it definitely increases your chance to die and lose the run, but it also increases your chance to win the run a lot, because he's very strong. He's a very strong boy. Okay, it's not capacity. That's about the only sure thing. But this is really tough. Like, we want to draw better cards, but we can't play them if we do. And we're probably just going to draw into more Wildwood Saps, because apparently I have 7 now. I don't think it does Virgil Killer. I don't even think it used to. I think it used to for people, like, and it depends where you are on your own win rate. Right? I had an okay win rate. Like, I've had bad patches, but I've also had good patches. But generally across the board, I've had an okay win rate for what I like to play. To the point that taking Burnout Rector and losing because I couldn't keep him alive lowered my win. I believe was lowering my gap between wins. Yeah, I do have Pyro. That's possibly a reason just to take more draw. We use the Pyro, it fights the Pyro the turn after, and then we've got energy. I like that, Rakitha. It's probably a good call. So, but if you're a person that's sitting down and you're just going to sit down after work and you're like, I just want to get one win and get out, and you're just going to like face smash 10 losses in a row in the first half hour you play and then steamroll a win, that's the Burnout Rector, you know, no brain play. And it's a viable strategy if that's how you if that's what people are looking to win. But then you get if you get to a stage where you're winning more with less sort of super high risk reward strategies, then you get to a point where you're more likely to get that win without taking that risk compared to the times that it loses. If a choice makes you more likely to win the current run, then it makes you more likely to keep your win streak. Yeah, so it's one of the things that you can't. It's really hard to measure. Is this choice making me more likely to win this run? Because you don't. There's too much uncertainty. So there's an if on it. There's this one will be a higher win rate if this happens. What's the chance of that happening? Well, it's, you know. So the things to factor in is, as you're progressing through games like this, is that there's not usually a single what's the best win rate pick right now, or what's going to give me the best chance to winning a run right now. You've sort of got to factor in what's the chance that if I do this, we lose soon versus, because you're not going to win soon. You can't win until you get to here, right? Or this fight and the last few turns, right? But you can lose any time here beforehand, right? So you sort of have to factor in, it's not what's giving you the win. You do have to factor in what is going to cause me to not lose, right? But that also means not losing also means not playing so passively that, you know, you're that guy at the poker table who is getting killed because he's folding every turn and then having to pay his antes, you know, every time the table goes around, and slowly getting whittled away. So you can make a play that like increases your chance to win at the end of the run while not increasing your chance to lose any time. So you've got those both things that you need to do. Don't increase your chance to lose while increasing your chance to win. And Burnout Rector is one of those that it pushes both of those up. It's like, I'm going to increase your chance to lose a lot, like in the next circle. But if you make it all the way through, I'm going to increase your chance to win a lot. You know. Well, you can't say if Burnout's more likely to win the current run. But you can say Burnout is potentially more likely to lose in the next few circles, which doesn't win the current run. And that's the thing. And you know, I strongly believe this. If you're looking at some choice, like some choices do have a more black and white, like a good bad type of situation. The only way to lose is to win, and to win you must lose. Wow, that's deep, Valkyrie. So there are some decisions that you just can't determine if it's going to help you win or not, but it could help you lose sooner. And so some of them are just sort of pushing you through further, and they're not winning the run, but they're helping you get to the next choice, which could be a win the run choice. You can look at Harvest and say, I cannot kill the boss if I take this. Maybe, but that's like when people go into a chat and they look at you after your first circle. Like, you've fought circle 1. They're like, I don't know how you beat Seraph with this. It's like, I don't know how I beat Seraph with this either. We've fought one fight. Who the frick can beat Seraph after one fight with that deck? No one. Like, it's not going to happen, right? I mean, there probably is a deck on low Covenants that could beat Seraph. You know, a Covenant 1 deck that beats Seraph. But for the most part, you need to improve. Oh, you're talking about Circle 1 boss Seraph. Okay, yeah. So if you're in a position where you look at the cards you've got and the artifacts you've gotten early, and you're like, man, we're going to struggle to beat 2 out of 3 of the circle bosses if I take this. You know, that's then a high chance to lose early, right? Thanks, Sarah Jax. You know, so then you take Rector and go, he's just as likely to lose, but he's got a higher chance to win. You know, but the other option also that people overlook is, do you not take a trial? You know. You track your stats, you're 31%. Yeah, see, that's where I'd like to track my stats, but the problem is, I take too many options because I play a lot, where I'm like, okay, this is a bad play, but I'm taking it because it's going to be fun. And so that win, does it count as a win? Or does it count as a loss? Or is the match completely null and void for my stats? And, you know, so I can't really look at my stats accurately like that. Whereas if I was going to just pick certain runs and say, and from the beginning say, this is a tracked run, and just go full, let's just make the best plays. I don't know. But I think 31% is fairly reasonable. Yeah. But I pick Harvest pretty much, yeah. Harvest is strong. Reform reliably beats first 2 circle star check. So you generally think the best choice. I think if you say you generally think it's the best choice, like, we haven't even talked about what artifacts you have, what your secondary clan card is, what the 2 pairs of common cards and the uncommon card. So you're saying general without like 5 bits of information. Like, that's a hard call. I mean, Reform's good. I'm not going to say, like, I like Reform. But I think, yeah, when there's so much information the game gives you, like, each run is so different at the start than the others. You know, it's really hard to generalize a lot of that. Why do I have 7? I've got 7 things. We probably should... Let's go here. Get rid of Stewies. I mean, I suppose we can all agree in general Tethys sucks, right? Are we all on the Tethys sucks plan? Oh, really? You know what? Come with me. Come with me, friend. It might actually be happening. Daedalus isn't in the first 2 circles though, Virtual Killer. And I think that's the issue. Like, my benchmark, and it doesn't mean it's right or wrong, it's just how I benchmark. If I lose to Daedalus or before, it's because I screwed up somewhere. Whether that be by deliberately taking a bad fun pick, or just not, you know, somewhere else. And that's my goal. Like, and I don't just want to limp past Daedalus. So I'd be like, yeah, limp past Daedalus and then fall over at the next fight. Because that's bad. This guy sucks for us too. You think Penumbra is far and away the worst champ? Huh. I should stop taking advice from you now. No, in all seriousness, I think Penumbra is very easy to not win with. There's definitely, and it's the same as like the choice on the choose to the choice that increases your chance to lose in the next fight versus don't stong him. Versus how likely you are to win. It's not just a win versus loss. There's a curve, and you've got to sort of... It's almost like a 3D graph of things. And like Penumbra's got that very strong can beat boss position. But also, you know, I notice, like, I definitely feel that there's this very easy to just lose somewhere because, I don't know, Morsel, like, Shade Splitters are not a very good clan card. I thought Stygian and Tethys were the best fat hero just because of boss killing capabilities early on. And then as I got better and my win rate started going up and I was getting better at all the other clans, my Stygian win rate didn't go up. It stayed the same. Architect is amazing, yeah. It's definitely a little tougher early game though, but has a very solid mid game and has some clear this is how he's going to win sort of stuff. Every time I play a spell, we're going to do 8 more damage, and you're going to gain 10 armor. Except for this one, which is going to do a lot more damage. Yeah, Crucible Collector with Architect's a huge combo, right? Okay, so if I'm reading that correctly, I can play that. Yeah, that's it, Scott. It's a DPS backline unit in a clan that doesn't have any. That's really important. Correct. Sapwood is my only card that I haven't boarded. But it's doing things here. Umbrella Axe front-loaded damage. Yeah. Though the ones it's got are really good, but that's the problem. Like, and most of them need modifiers. Like nothing just. Sapwood's hit point should be 75. Well, that's you can get 2 plus 25 hit points, right? That does that. Okay, I don't think I can buff that guy to the point where he's not doing anything. So we. He's gonna hit like a truck. So the problem though, Virgil Killer, is that while there are many possible solutions, it becomes what's the capabilities of obtaining one of them, and you need it to work. Right? And when they need multiple things to work, that's where it gets a bit harder. Yay, we win. And a lot of times you need it to work soon. Not, you don't have till the end of the game to get the answer to the solution, the answer to the problem that needs a solution by circle 2. I don't need any more regen. Draw is really good. I don't want daze because I want to be hit. I don't want magic. Okay. You hate Shadow Eater? Everyone hates Shadow Eater. I don't know why. Shadow Eater is amazing. It is low, I think, but usually the biggest problem. I mean, jump in and give me your thoughts. But I think the biggest problem is killing the second heavy most of the time. I think with most of the clan combos, there's a solution to kill backline units that's fairly easy to get. There's a solution to kill the frontline unit, which is fairly easy to get. And it's fairly easy to get both. And even getting a boss killer for normal circles, fairly easy to get. I consistently find the toughest thing to do is to kill the second heavy. And the worst thing is when you have the fight that has the 0 attack tank and 2 heavies. Because most of the time, both of those are getting through. Like if I'm struggling in a run, that's what's happening. It's inefficient to do 10 AoE damage otherwise. I mean, it comes down to your morsel generation and what else you need it for. So and this is a general thing. If you say, like, I think Shadow Eater is a good card. but there's going to be times where I just don't pick it because it needs to have the support. And if you take a card for a deck that can't support it, it's going to be bad, and people will be like, oh, it's trash. Panz said this card was bad. I've taken it 3 times and tried to force it down my deck's throat, and it's not working. Panz is wrong. It's like, no, you picked it because you heard me say it was good, but didn't stop to think, does it work in my deck right now? You know? And this happens in all the games that we play. You know, Slay the Spire, Retropolis, this, FTL, Crying Suns, like any dungeony, crawly, roguelike-y, whatever you want to call them. People just evaluate stuff on a general basis, and we say it's a good thing, and they're like, oh, cool, I'm taking it every time. Oh, it doesn't work. It's bad. Don't take it when it's not going to work. Yeah, stop making me trying to think while playing a strategy game. Compared to just having a vent or glimmer or a sweeper, it's just bad. No, but what happens when you bottom deck your vent or your glimmer? How good is it then? Which you can do. Like, that's the thing with units. They're priority draws. So you're guaranteed to get them in the first number of turns equal to or less than the number of priority units you have. And play with them. Second heavy is hard for everyone? Yeah. Pretty much, right? And sweepers are good. Like, but that's what it is. Shadow Eater is a sweeper. You know, it just has a potential higher output damage. Potential. Cold Celia is another one with a really high output, potential high output damage. The difference is she needs a tank. Shadow Eater's like a tank sweeper in one, so you don't need to find a second unit to support it. You need to have morsels to support it. And the bonus, if you can do that, means you're only taking up one priority draw to do that. So you only need to get that one unit, and it's doing its job. Whereas you're not just going to put Cold Celia on the bottom floor by herself if she's low hit point with like multi-strike and plus 10, you know? So they've got different roles, and it's another thing we see is people just pigeonholing everything into a very, like, oh, these cards are all doing the same thing. It's like, no, there's enough difference where they've got different roles and they need different support. Yep, Shadow Eater's a helper to do some AoE. Clear off low stuff, have high hit points and heal. Like, that's huge, right? Take 30 damage, eat 2 morsels, heal for 20. It's not quite the same as taking 10 damage, but, you know, at the end result is fairly similar. I'm torn. I want both sides. -1s? Probably -1s. No, I've got energy. Why would I take -1s? Double stack? He made a deck that used a rail beater, branded warrior and deranged brute. Yeah, like, there you go. Like, stuff, you can make stuff work. And was it good in the moment? Maybe. Maybe. I had a brawler, a level 3 brawler tank a winning run. Does that mean it's good to do that? No, it just worked out. Would I even try to do what I did with that run again? I can't see it ever happening. The brawler was hilarious. It was! Like, and I do stuff like that because I think that's more fun. Whereas if I was just going to sit down and focus on pure win rate, they just pick spreading spores every time, right? It'd be boring. Without the quick tome, yeah. Well, we had a lot of armor. The quick tome definitely made a huge difference. It would have been nice. That's the one thing. I mean, I could have made a challenge off it and played off the seed to see what happens if I don't take the quick tome. Are we going for the... We're not going for the Siren yet, are we? If we take another spike, let's take another spike. Do we care about the spell shield? Yes. Yes, we do. Do I care where he takes his beating from? Let's take your beating there, dude. Maybe he doesn't take his beating there. Take a little bit of a beating? Yeah, I think the new champ stuff is going to be really cool. Looking forward to it. Go the other spike. Or those. Yeah, sure, okay, whatever. Did they say there was it was a Circle 6 boss as well? You kind of like Rail Beater? Yeah, okay. Rail Beater's the one that swaps the positions of them, right? Am I thinking of the right unit here? You'd like to know what the upgrades from tier 1 to tier 3 and bosses? What do you mean, Valkyrie? Like what upgrades they're going to offer you at each step? You take Reaper? I like Reaper. I still need to do up a... If ever I find time, like I'm always... That's the key. Running out of time, Panz. You never have time. The rage comparison between Brawler and Reaper. You wonder how we'll choose champ? So it sounded like you enable whether you want to have exiled champs available or not. Now whether you do that on each individual clan or you just tick the exiled champ box and it opens up all 5 of them. And then, so you can either select a specific champ obviously, but for random I think you just open up, just say yep, do exiled, and now you've got a 1 in 10 for each champ at the start. And then a 1 in 9 for each secondary. The Exiled Champ's the next content update. Oh, I want more spells. So they're adding a champion for each clan. And that champion has its own clan card. So this is Tethys's clan card. And this is Sentience. So if you get whatever replaces, like whatever the exiled champ from Stygian is, you won't have Frozen Lances. You'll have the exiled card and the exiled champ. And the same goes with secondary. If you get a secondary exiled, so if we got the secondary exiled, we wouldn't have Frozen Lance, we'd have something else. I don't know if it's 9. I definitely know it's 3. A few people have said 6 as well, but I don't think anyone said 8. Circle 8, sorry. Stealth? 12 stealth? Oh, we've got enough regen. Get wrecked, idiot. So include those in the potential picks. Yes. No, that's fine. Just 3 and 6? That's fine. Kind of strange, but okay. I really like how we get to see what those bosses are and what their variants are in this game, and I think it's really important because of how these combats play out that we have that capability, because then you can plan certain things with the way you build your deck. I think you need to, otherwise the game, like the enemies would have to be tuned down, probably too much as well. I don't know what it is. That's right, Talos, that's right. Yeah, it's going to be a good update. Out of Dregaries. Oh, not Dregaries, Stewart's. What am I doing to spells? Double stack? Let's get some artifacts. Double incant. Get wrecked. Do we take one of these? I don't think I do. Like the spell. That doesn't help. Okay, so we draw a spike on turn 1. Is that a thing? In case we draw a spike on turn 1, we pick Improved Firebox? I've got 2 spikes in the deck. They said 2 weeks, didn't they? But not a hard date? He definitely says something weeks. Whether he says in a few weeks, in a couple weeks, in 2 weeks. He said something weeks on the dev stream. Non-decaying rage? No. Non-decaying rage is a bait. Couple of weeks, was it? No hard date, yeah. I've really gone off on Lizard Tails, right? Because if you're applying rage on a regular basis, you lose 1 stack a turn, which by the time you encounter, let's go for the longest fights. By the time you encounter, if you're on the top floor, Seraph, you've lost 9 rage. And we're going to be applying, let's say 100 rage. It's not gonna matter, and if you're playing such a small amount of rage that you're that desperate, there's probably a better solution than splashing out on Tails. But I think there's definitely a time where Tails is like, man, this is really gonna save, and I think that's when you've got like a big party floor, maybe a lot of one capacity units that with multi like drafts, and you're only generating a really small amount of rage. And you're losing one from each of them. So it's actually saving a lot of rage overall. Yeah, so it's worth 7 to 9 rage. And fair enough, you can say it's worth, that amount of rage each turn. But if you're overkilling units, it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, and there's a little bit of decay after you engage Seraph, depending how many turns it takes to kill Seraph. So it can be relevant, but I think it's more relevant with increased number of units on the floor that are relying on rage. Rage decay is very nice when you only have rage on your unit upgrade on a multi-striker and not from any spells. depends how you upgrade, how you're putting the rage on. That's what I say, like there's going to be a certain time where it's going to be good. You need to assess it every time. But then it comes down to how much thought are you putting into every decision, every run, versus how many runs you want to play and how long you keep your brain going for. If you do one run a day and you want to do the best run you can, you should evaluate every option you see as best possible. If you're playing lots of runs and you want to have, as a collective, the best outcomes, you need to back off on some of those thought processes, otherwise you're not going to be able to have as many by the end of it. It's relevant in Sap Seraph? Yeah, possibly. It still only negates the... like, it's still relative to not Sap Seraph or Sap Seraph. Compared to your damage output. Now, if you've got one line, is it going to matter? Yes. Yeah, it only helps the one turns after. I'm going to take this. And then I'm probably going to dupe the other spike. Because as soon as we draw a spike on turn 1, please do it. Reward me. Oh yeah, it's why it's tons better with AoE Rage. And it's why AoE Rage can be very bad without it. But if you're generating enough rage... Where's my spike? That would have been so sweet. Actually, this is not a bad turn, though. Where's my spike, baby rage? I think it has to be either a non-rage deck at all, in which case you can sell it, right? You take the 25 gold. But even if I'm generating a lot of rage, I still think you take it, right? Because it's just like it's strong. It does something beneficial, but I don't know where I'd be like now in my gameplay where I would be buying it from an artifact store unless we had tons of gold. Wonder if they'll ever give Nameless Siren a real name. She doesn't deserve a real name. Yeah, I said it. Oh, I'm sorry. I love Nameless Siren. What's the other one called? Yeah, the multi-hit sirens are amazing. We're doing... Oh, wait. Can we do it and kill this? Yeah, we can. We're going to slaughter this idiot. What's that? You want armor, dude? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I did say, when we were looking at how we're going to use Wilting Sapwood, you need an X-Cost card. This is not a bad X-Cost card to have a ton of energy with. The 7 Wildwood Saps helps as well. Oh yeah, it does have an up limit, doesn't it? Does it... Any of the cards that don't fit in your hand, like let's say you played it on 12 and Embergy, do the extra cards get their card like their cost reduced? Science time? Alright, you guys keep track of what's going on. Wording implies discount on drawn cards? Fair enough. Is it not permanent? It's not permanent. Or is it? I thought we'd drawn those ones. Drawn this way? Yeah. I thought I drew a nice... No, these ones got drawn with it, right? But I thought we drew some ice tornadoes with them. Was I just wrong? Panz, you're just wrong. Okay, fine. Screw yourself. It didn't ask me which dead weight I wanted to refreeze. I'd assume my refreezable intentions. I never saw the ice tornado. Fair enough. I'll believe you. We take space and hope to hit it? I think so. More spikes. Do I even need to copy it? Yes. Yes, I do. He doesn't deserve it, MQZ. But you're probably right. He's overlooked here. There we go. And can we copy it 3 times? Unfortunately, no. I should purge him. just to trigger everyone. Do I prefer multi at 3 on the Siren? ×2 or 1 plus armor incant? It depends which Siren. On this one, it also depends who the other clan is. So I was very specific when I picked this one up. We said something about we don't need to put health on it because there's definitely no sweeper in this Seraph fight, and in any other Seraph fight, and it wasn't Rage Fell, so we didn't have to worry about a big sweeper coming through and one-shotting it. And any other fight that has a sweeper, we can heal it. So it's more beneficial in this case for this deck to get the second multi-strike and use one of our Wildwood Saps on it if we need to. With the Railhammer, the +1 incant is good? Yes. But not on a backline DPS unit. I mean, it's still okay. Like, it's still, reasonable. But, if I've got a unit doing 200 damage, an extra multi-strikes, that's pretty good. Yeah, and if Circle 7's is Pyre Wings, we just heal, right? Do I care for this? We go bottom floor? Just go bottom floor. Yeah, so you need to, that's the biggest thing, is learning the, where's the game? Or getting a cheat sheet that has what these fights are. Oh, hey, here's a problem. Trying to set up bottom. I mean, we can still do this, but... Oh no. But I want to use, but... So we're taking 4 hits at the moment. I can't get down to less than that, so let's leave it. If I hit the ancient synergies, I just kill that guy next turn. Alright, let's do that. Yeah, Rouse Spike is -2, not X, so I need to put -1s on this. And I set up bottom because I didn't want these. These are in... the Purifiers are in Seraph, aren't they? I'm just gonna have to deal with having a Purifier card. There's a good chance I draw... oh, I'm gonna have the thing afterwards. Let's do this. Hello. Oh my god. He had a crazy Conduit Tethys win with Hellhorn yesterday. Started with cards being 4 damage spells and Armor Totem, and with 2 holdover battering rams. Nice, yeah, that sounds fun. Hey, Joke. Joke. Yeah, new champion's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be good. It's gonna add a lot more to the game. I wonder though if they're putting out too much with it. It makes sense though, put out the 5 exiled champions together, but they're also bringing out the patches really close to each other, which, you know, it could be a viable strategy. You know, keep the game relevant, like extra relevant while it's still, you know, super new. But, I don't know, part of me sort of thinks maybe if they spaced it out just that little bit further, you know, make the content they have just go a bit longer overall. Yeah, Siren Song for leaks, probably pretty good. Unless we're setting up top. Which I kind of feel like we are. So I'm just going to deal with the Purifier cards. I think that's fine, right? We just deal with the Purifier cards. Do I have to silence anything? I mean, we can silence the resolves. Yeah, sure. Siren Song comes up. Look, yeah, when it comes to what got nerfed and what didn't, I'm pretty sure that they have the same person that determines who's getting banned on Twitch or not. You know, they just roll up, start rolling d6 and picking answers out of a table. I want to do that, but I also want to do that. We're not going to have leaks because we're going to do this. Yeah, that's fair. We can give health on the other idiot. That only gives us one spike. I do have stings. I don't think it's worth buying a thing for it though. We're not going to have leaks. We don't have frostbite, and our healing is at best. We could, I mean, probably not though, right? That's true. That's definitely true that the free updates sort of get them out. While people are still kind of playing the game and are paying attention that there is a free update. Nothing worse than... There's possibly nothing worse than putting out a free update and having your community not even know because they've stopped playing. Isn't Frostbite 2 enough to dispatch the 3 health mobs by itself? No. 3 Frostbite is enough to dispatch them. Now, we'll kill them before they get to the top floor. But by that stage, we just don't care. And the Purifiers have 10 health. I could just remove, like... We're going the Frozen Lancers? I think it's Frozen Lancers, right? Lightwings have 3 health. They're 15 threes. Hunt for Endless for our boy. Let's go now. Could have large stoned him for the extra 15 hit points. Someone say to the Siren that it doesn't make sense to use a curved sword underwater. Is there some sort of physics that doesn't matter whether it's curved or straight underwater? Although you're still slicing into a solid body, so maybe you get the same benefit out of scything a flesh. Yeah, Cuddle Beers and Rules is kind of interesting for the 4. But again, it just feels like a dumb thing to do. Like, I have nothing else that puts Frost in. Pyres is at least going to be return damage on stuff, which might do something early if we hit some Wildwoods, but by then now, it's probably still the right play. Especially since I've already spent the reroll. Yeah, and it still doesn't kill the Purifiers, which our spikes will. Best weapons would be thrusting weapons. Yeah, true, because you're just forcing straight in. I mean, are you taking into consideration aqua magic? And are we talking like high school level aqua magic knowledge, or like, you know, postgraduate, you know, doctoral stuff? Yeah, I was going to put large stone on tree, but then I decided, no, it's not worth it. Well, actually, I wrote the 3rd edition Aqua Magics, volumes 1 through 5, that gets taught in all undersea bed universities. You skipped the Edge of Magic class because there's too many dudes in Speedos? Yeah, but man, the sirens. God damn. You just ignore the dudes. You just go for the sirens. Ooh-wee. I almost don't want to get rid of the Frozen Lancers. Not because Diligent removes cards, but because Diligent adds 3 blights, and they're not spells. And I just want to be casting spells. I want the spells. So we're just going to take this just to spend the money. Let's do it. You started magic when you were in play school and now you can summon anime girls? Can you do it underwater though, Valkyrie? Like that? Come on, gotta stay on top. But it's minus points. Oh no. Oh no. Hey, where's my idiot? Oh. Part of me doesn't want to play them until the other ragey girl gets here. I could preserve one of them. I just kill my anger. That's right. Welcome. Don't say anything, General Bushido. They might return her back to her previous form. And no one wants that. Hit me! Hit me! Ah. Wait, where's my spike? Do I only have 2 of them? I thought I had a 3rd one. Oh well. 0 cost shard. If I had 1 rage per spell, I'd be leaking here. Hang on, let's have a look at this. So you're telling me that if I was only doing 100 times 3 and 70 times 3, I would be leaking. Despite the fact that I'm spelling down all my things. I don't know, man. It's possible. Oh, okay. So you're assuming that if they go back to their pre-nerf ways, that I wouldn't have this relic in this run. No, you don't get to take away both things. Like, yeah, yes. If I had different relics, how about if I don't have spells and I don't have the X cost cards to make them cheaper? Why don't we go back to Circle 1 and give me my starter deck and say how trash they are? Or we could rate them on the benefits of what I've earned during the run by playing the game and beating stuff. Like, I mean, you look at it whatever way you want, but at the end of the day, if you're going to say they're only good because you have all these things that make them good, it's like, well, that's the idea of the game, is get things that make your deck good. How do we beat that roguelike dungeon crawlers? Get things that improve your character. Don't try to go through with a starter character without taking anything. You know, that would be a bad way, right? It's only good because I have skill? No, let's not get stupid now around a Skyman. Let's be realistic here. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I also wouldn't have made changes to Shadow Siege. I think that's probably the ultimate case in point. I want to save cells to the second Siren. Yeah, she's 225 versus 285. Slacker. Literally unplayable. You have done your job. Yeah, but Shadow Siege has the highest win rate. Dude, that was the best. That was the best line Alpha was Gamer. Like, I don't think you could have done it any better. It needed to be said like that. Exactly like that. Book complete. You've played Shadow Siege more post-patch without Gage's sketches than you did before? Do you think they secretly upped the drop rate of sketches? Or whatever? That's exactly what they said, Timnos. They said it had the highest win rate. Because they didn't mention that it had the lowest pick rate. Oh, the change to perils, yeah. Whew. That was a fun run, and it was nice to gold that card. I don't know if I'll ever pick it again. Yeah. You wear orc clothing and use a barbarian deck. That's right.